Disney is no longer happy? Yes, Bob Iger himself and Disney have been trying to get Ryan Reynolds to drop this nonsense. This is all absolutely valid. This is not frivolous.
Ryan Reynolds might be regretting the day he tied his life and career to Blake Lively, because that single decision has now blown up in his face. What started as a quiet whisper about his image spiraling turned into a full-scale career collapse. Disney has officially cut ties with him, ending his once secure place in both Marvel and the broader Disney empire. A single marriage decision has snowballed into the biggest professional loss of his career.
But he wants to be involved in this.
Andy wasn't exaggerating when he said no studio wants to back an actor drowning in lawsuits, blackmail rumors, and brand-destroying scandals. On May 15, 2025, Ryan Reynolds walked into Disney's Burbank headquarters expecting a routine check-in with executives. Instead, he walked into a corporate ambush. According to sources, Bob Iger personally called the meeting not to discuss Deadpool promotions or Marvel's future plans, but to deliver a final warning. Multiple insiders, including 2 at Marvel Studios and 1 from Disney Legal, confirmed the ultimatum. Reynolds had 72 hours to publicly distance himself from Blake Lively's subpoena scandal or face exile. That meant no Phase 6, no promotions, and potentially no Disney collaborations at all.
That's what the case is for, Ryan. And so you don't get to just throw your power around and keep demanding that it's frivolous and to go away and blah, blah, blah. You are so out of touch. It's wild.
This wasn't just some executive panicking over gossip headlines. Disney's legal team had been monitoring the growing storm for weeks. But everything exploded after the May 14th court filings were unsealed, exposing shocking allegations about Blake Lively's legal strategy, including hints of blackmail tied to private texts with Taylor Swift. Ryan Reynolds wasn't mentioned by name, but his role as Blake's husband, business partner, and vocal ally instantly made him a high-risk liability. As one Disney insider bluntly put it, "You don't need to be guilty to be a problem." Reynolds was already yellow flagged after that affidavit dropped. Then we moved him straight to red.
You guys started this lawsuit. Let's not forget, you were the ones who started the lawsuit.
So what does being yellow flagged actually mean inside Disney? According to a leaked Marvel marketing risk report, it's the studio's internal system for tracking reputational threats. Ryan Reynolds was marked as a potential liability as early as April, thanks to his refusal to comment on Blake Lively's spiraling legal mess and his cryptic posts that many interpreted as indirect support for her. But once the Swift-Lively court filing dropped, Disney's patience evaporated. During the May 15th meeting, Bob Iger didn't sugarcoat it. A source briefed immediately afterward recalled his exact words. "You either clean up your image fast, or we'll clean it for you." And by clean, he meant scrubbing Reynolds from every ad, poster, and press event Disney had in the pipeline. That wasn't a threat, it was already happening. By May 16th, Reynolds' name had been cut from at least 2 high-profile appearances, including Marvel's D23 reveal slate and a scheduled spot on Good Morning America. Even more damning, Disney quietly paused all of his promotional material for Deadpool 3, pivoting the marketing push to Zazie Beetz, Josh Brolin, and even lesser-known cast members. That kind of drastic reshuffle only happens when the damage is already beyond repair. Inside Marvel, the atmosphere has turned cold. One assistant producer admitted anonymously, "Kevin Feige didn't want this. He fought to keep Ryan in the loop." But Bob Iger had the final call, and legal was unanimous. Reynolds was too entangled. What sealed his fate, according to insiders, was a set of internal messages showing Reynolds privately discussing Blake's case with a former Marvel consultant now working in crisis PR. It wasn't criminal, but it reeked of narrative management, and Disney took it as a red flag. Reynolds, for his part, tried to push back. At one point in the meeting, he reportedly asked, "So, you want me to abandon my wife to save Deadpool?" The reply? A cold corporate slap. "We want you to separate your personal life from our brand. That's the job." Since then, Reynolds has gone radio silent. No posts, no interviews, no stories. He even canceled the press run for a Hulu spin-off co-produced by his own company, Maximum Effort, and partially financed by Disney. Meanwhile, Disney is deep in damage control. A Marvel insider confirmed that every piece of marketing with Reynolds is under review, from digital banners to theatrical trailers to merchandise rollouts. The message is clear. Reynolds has gone from franchise poster boy to corporate liability, and Disney is wasting no time rewriting the script. One major toy partner was even instructed to delay shipments of Deadpool figurines featuring Ryan Reynolds' likeness until further notice. What stunned insiders most was the speed of the collapse. Just a year ago, Reynolds was considered one of Disney's most bankable stars. Deadpool 2 raked in over $785 million worldwide, and his personal brand was viewed as virtually untouchable. But when corporate giants feel their reputation is at risk, loyalty evaporates overnight. Image becomes everything. Behind the scenes, Reynolds' team is scrambling to renegotiate his Marvel contract, exploring early exit clauses and possible legal protections. There's even chatter about a quiet settlement deal, where both sides agree to part ways without dragging each other through the press. But make no mistake, this isn't about spin control anymore. For Disney, it's about corporate survival. Protecting the Marvel brand, even at the cost of one of its brightest stars, is simply sound business. Then came the hammer blow. On May 17, 2025, internal Marvel documents leaked, confirming a formal complaint had been filed against Reynolds for suspected violations of non-disclosure agreements. This wasn't a slap on the wrist. It was a structured report routed through Disney's legal affairs division, accusing him of unauthorized disclosures about on-set interactions and character material during the active filming of Deadpool 3. According to a source close to Marvel's legal counsel, the review had technically started weeks earlier, on May 3rd. But it escalated sharply after explosive text messages surfaced in a legal filing connected to the ongoing Lively Baldoni civil case, filed on May 14th by attorney Jason Breen, representing one of Baldoni's known associates. The documents included alleged screenshots of private exchanges between Reynolds and Baldoni's opposition party. Dated between March 18th and April 2nd, 2025, the texts delved into internal dynamics on Deadpool 3's. Vancouver set one message in particular stood out. A line where Reynolds allegedly referred to a senior crew member as a media bait dog, implying he had shared disparaging remarks made during private script discussions. For Marvel executives already wary of his entanglement in Blake Lively's scandal, this was the smoking gun. Disney's legal machine wasted no time. Within 48 hours, the studio's advisors drafted a briefing memo, dated May 16th, later reviewed by Deadline and confirmed to Variety. It outlined potential breaches of the defamation of franchise clause buried deep in Reynolds' standard Marvel talent contract. That clause, introduced after Disney's costly 2019 Scarlett Johansson payout, gives the company sweeping authority to withhold bonuses, freeze promotions, or even sue if a star's external actions harm franchise integrity or brand goodwill. What made Reynolds' case especially volatile was the timing. The leaked texts were exchanged during active principal photography, an immediate conflict with Marvel's 2023 updated on-set policy. Article 4, Section C is clear. Actors must avoid parallel legal or public conflicts that intersect with production image or storyline confidentiality. By communicating with parties tied to a lawsuit involving another Disney-affiliated actor, Reynolds crossed into a compliance gray zone Disney had no intention of ignoring. By May 18th, the fallout was visible. Internal production notes obtained by The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Kevin Feige skipped a scheduled post-shoot meeting with Reynolds in New York. Officially, it was labeled a scheduling conflict. Off the record, however, messages between two Marvel marketing leads suggested Feige was deliberately keeping his distance. On set, the separation grew more obvious. During Deadpool 3 reshoots in Atlanta from May 10-13, Reynolds' scenes were filmed with minimal interaction. A camera crew member recalled his tent being relocated and noted the absence of executive producers during his 3 days on set. Fans quickly picked up on the distancing too. Marvel's May 15th behind-the-scenes promo included every major cast member except Reynolds, despite his confirmed presence that week. By May 19th, Disney escalated its scrub. Marvel Studios quietly deleted a pinned Instagram teaser of Reynolds in full Deadpool gear, a post that had racked up 3.1 million likes since its March debut. It was replaced with a new graphic highlighting the supporting cast under the caption, "Heroes come in all forms. Get ready for Deadpool's wildest ride yet." Reynolds' name was nowhere in sight. The purge carried into merchandise. On May 20th, Disney's updated summer licensing catalog cut Reynolds' feature page entirely. The original spread had showcased a full product roadmap tied to his likeness. The revised version reduced it to a half page of generic Deadpool masks and nameless merchandise. Licensing partners told Business Insider such changes were virtually unheard of unless a major contract issue was in play. Behind the scenes, Disney convened its high-risk response team, the same legal unit that handled the Gina Carano fallout and Jonathan Majors' contract freeze. Analysts familiar with Disney's litigation strategy predicted only two possible outcomes: a silent buyout paired with a non-disparagement deal, or a direct lawsuit accusing Reynolds of damaging studio IP through unauthorized disclosures. Then came the nuclear rumor. On May 21st, a verified Sharks account known as Our Real Marvel Leaks, with a track record of accurate scoops, posted a viral thread claiming Disney had already prepared a $485 million claim draft. If Reynolds' entanglement tanked Deadpool 3 at the box office or poisoned Marvel's broader Phase 6 rollout, the draft could be formally filed. The alleged complaint cited a patterned history of reputational compromise and hostile communications with opposing legal parties. Adding fuel to the fire, legal journalist Kira Bennett broke another bombshell. On May 12th, she confirmed that Reynolds had officially been subpoenaed as a witness in the Baldoni versus Lively defamation and interference case. The report cited Blake Lively's own legal team during a closed-door update at Los Angeles Superior Court. Court filings dated May 10th explicitly named Reynolds as a material witness to interspousal communications relevant to brand defense strategy. In plain English, the court believed Ryan wasn't just standing by Blake. He was actively helping her craft the narrative. The evidence was damning. On May 14th, during a private evidentiary hearing, Baldoni's team submitted encrypted messages and iMessage screenshots allegedly showing coordinated PR strategy between the couple. One text from Blake to Ryan on February 28th read, "Please don't speak until I clear it with PR. We can't give them anything that suggests internal conflict. This is about protecting the brand." Just days later, on March 2nd, Ryan appeared to reply, "Got it. Silence is our best weapon right now." Legal analysts were quick to pounce on the leaked correspondence, interpreting it as evidence of a deliberate, joint strategy between Blake and Ryan. That interpretation could deal a fatal blow to Blake's claim that she acted independently and without malice. More damning still, Ryan's replies open a new front of liability. Under California Civil Code Section 47, spousal privilege does not extend to communications intended to conceal or coordinate a false public narrative. In other words, those texts could very well become admissible in open court if the case goes to trial, a possibility that now seems increasingly likely. The fallout wasn't limited to legal circles. By May 15th, fans noticed that Taylor Swift and Gigi Hadid, two of Blake's closest celebrity allies, had unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram. The move sparked immediate speculation, especially since both women had stood by him through previous controversies. Swift's unfollow was particularly symbolic, given her long history of support for Reynolds, including naming his children in her 2020 folklore rollout. A source close to Taylor's camp told Entertainment Watch on May 16th that the decision was personal and deliberate, adding that Taylor felt blindsided by the subpoena drama and the texts that dragged her name into the mess. According to the same source, she believed Ryan should have drawn a hard line long before the scandal reached court. Gigi Hadid's camp stayed quieter, with her PR team confirming she is not involved and not interested in weighing in. Behind closed doors, however, the strain between Blake and Ryan was growing more visible. On May 17th, an assistant at their joint production company Maximum Effort leaked to Deadline that Blake had privately begged Ryan not to comply with the subpoena. The assistant, who resigned from the company the same week, claimed Blake broke down in tears at their Bedford, New York estate, pleading, "If you testify, you're giving them everything. Don't do this. Please, just stand with me." Multiple sources confirm Ryan's response was blunt, "I'm not going down for this." The choice, though legally defensible, has cast a long shadow over their marriage. While no formal separation has been confirmed, the couple hasn't been photographed together publicly since April 24th. Their last joint event, a London promo shoot for their alcohol brand, was described as tense by attendees. As one brand partner put it, they were professional but not affectionate. It looked like damage control with every frame. Professionally, the consequences have been swift and brutal. As of May 10th, Maximum Effort has frozen 3 joint ventures with Amazon Studios, Netflix, and FX. The projects, a romantic thriller titled Shadow Curtain, a comedy series co-starring Maya Rudolph, and a docuseries on celebrity branding have all been placed on indefinite hold. On May 19th, leaked Netflix planning emails confirmed the streamer would not move forward with script-to-series negotiations involving the couple until there's legal clarity. The advertising world has followed suit. Horizon Media and 360i, two major global marketing firms, confirmed on May 20th that they've paused or pulled campaigns featuring Ryan and Blake together. One of those campaigns, a luxury watch holiday special that had already completed production, will be shelved entirely and reshot with a different celebrity couple by mid-June. Netflix delivered the harshest blow yet on May 21st, quietly terminating negotiations for Lockstep, a $40 million action comedy vehicle for Reynolds. According to an internal memo obtained by the Ankler, the streamer's risk mitigation team flagged Reynolds as red during its monthly reputational audit. The memo cited elevated risk of negative association due to unresolved public legal matters. The move followed the viral spread of a May 18th Reddit thread accusing Reynolds of shielding extortion by refusing to denounce Blake's subpoena scandal. The message couldn't be clearer. Ryan Reynolds' once bulletproof brand is now radioactive. That Reddit thread, which racked up more than 41,000 upvotes in just 12 hours, didn't stay in the gossip lane for long. It dissected Reynolds' cryptic Instagram posts, mapped them against Marvel production schedules and court dates, and then spun into full-scale risk assessments. By the next day, May 19th, corporate hands were already in motion. Aviation Gin, the spirits company Reynolds co-founded in 2018 and partially sold to Diageo in a $610 million deal, released an unusually tight-lipped statement. At this time, Aviation Gin has no comment on the ongoing legal controversies involving Mr. Reynolds. On the surface, it sounded neutral. In reality, it was a glaring departure. Aviation had always leaned on Reynolds' reputation, marketing him as the face of integrity, charm, and mischief. This time, there was no loyalty, no defense, just distance. Investors noticed immediately. Aviation's parent stock dropped 6.4% between May 19th and May 25, its steepest single-day slide in 9 months. Analysts didn't mince words. One note from boutique firm Penbridge Capital called it a textbook brand body slam scenario, pointing out that Diageo's silence all but confirmed they were backing away from their golden boy. Behind the scenes, Reynolds himself tried to wrestle back control. Two insiders say that between May 17 and May 20th, he approached Diageo with a proposal to buy back a larger equity stake in Aviation. One executive described the move as a strategic exit or insulation strategy, a way to either shield the brand from further fallout or use it as cover. Diageo declined, offering only a polished brush-off. "We appreciate Mr. Reynolds' continued passion, but this is not the right time to reallocate shares."